Okay, so I want to get straight into this video and start sharing some summer niches that we can pursue in order to start making seasonal sales. Now, we're already in May, so summer is fast approaching. However, we don't need to rush into producing as many books as we can for this summer, and we'll end up putting out a load of rubbish onto Amazon's marketplace and not making any sales. Our mentality here when it comes to our KDP businesses is that we should be looking at quality and longevity. So even if we're a little bit late to this summer, we can always look forward to our books selling next summer. And for some cases with our medium and higher content books, you might actually find that they sell better next summer, for example. So once they've gathered up some reviews, once they gain some momentum, you can start running ads to these books in the summer and then start seeing sales then as well. So you can do this year, you can do this next year, and you can do it the year afterwards as well. And you can keep doing it provided that our books are high quality. Okay, so there's no rush to get things done this summer. But if you are in a rush, then you might want to look at producing a few low content books to get started this summer. So let's take a look at some low content niches that we can pursue this summer. Okay, so when it comes to summer low content books, what I've done here, and I want to try and do this in as many niche videos as possible, is to not be too specific with the niche and the sub niche that I'm showing off here, because I'm aware that, again, like I said in my last video, that some people don't like very specific niches being revealed. So what I've done here is I've typed in summer journal, and of course this is going to give us a load of results for low content books, and this is something that you can do yourself. It's something you need to do yourself, and what you can do is just come through Amazon and see what type of summer journals are being sold. So if you have this keyword expander tool here that I have, AMZ Suggestion Expander, you can see the type of things, the type of summer journals that people are actively searching for. So of course we have for kids, we have for women, we have for girls, for boys, for teens. We have blank summer journals as well, if you're into that type of thing. Summer journals for students, summer journals with prompts, summer journals with prompts for kids. So we're getting very, very specific with these long tail keywords, for example. So summer journals, there are lots of different things that you can pursue here, and you can do this in many different ways. Okay, so what other things are people going to be doing in the summer? How about gardening? How about we search for gardening journal on Amazon here and we see what it brings back? So this looks good. Gardening journal and logbook, gardening journal for kids, gardening journal notebook, gardening journal 2021, gardening journal planner. There are so many different niches that you can go with here. And when it comes to selling low content books during the summer, what I would do is just think of any summer activity that you can think of and then do your niche research around that. So for example, I've just done gardening journal. So journal is my kind of like go-to secondary word. I search for a niche, so gardening is the niche here, and then I go with my secondary word, journal, which is typically low content books, and I put the two together and I start searching them. I look on AMZ Suggestion Expander here, see what people are searching for. The more results here, the stronger the niche is. And then when I found one that I like the look of, I'll just click it and then carry on with my niche research from there. Okay, and what I can do from there is to go one step further, and if I think gardening, what do I think from there? What I think plants. So then I'll replace the word gardening with the word plants, and as you can see here, we have plant journal logbook, plant journal notebook, plant journal and planner, plant journal for kids, etc, etc. Okay, so you can go through all these summer activities, try and find journals with them. Obviously, if they have a really bad sales ranking or people aren't actually searching for them, then you can ditch that and move on to the next idea. Okay, and if you dig around a little bit here, you'll be able to find these niches pretty easily. And for example here, houseplant journal, ranked very low, independently published book. So just one more example before we move on here. The next thing that I can think of that some people might like to do in the summer is bird watching. So I've gone ahead and typed in bird watching, and as you can see, we have bird watching journals turns up here. So let's go ahead and type journals in. Bird watching journals for kids, for example. So you can keep niching down until you find something that you're interested in publishing. Okay, so there's many different directions you can go with these summer low content books, and I think I've given you enough examples to go with here, so we can move on now to medium content books. Okay, so when it comes to medium content books here in the summer niche, what we can do is kind of similar to what I showed in my previous niche video, which was a Bible, religion, Christianity sort of themed activity book. We can do the same here for the summer, and it's not like me to try and keep pushing similar niches on my channel, but this is just so good. And there's so much variety that you can go for here. You can target adults as well. You can target children. You can target different age ranges for children as well. And there's a whole load of different types of activity books that you can go for. And as you can see here, as soon as I start typing summer activity in, we get a ton of different ideas, and we can even niche down to the point where we are doing things like summer activity books for first grade students. Okay, so also within that sort of medium content section here with the summer niches, we can take a look at word searches once again. Now word searches, same sort of thing. You can target whatever niche that you want with word searches, provided obviously there's traffic going to it, which you need to check. Same goes for summer. You can produce summer word searches, so you can produce them for adults, you can produce them for kids. You can do them large print and target an older audience with these books. You can have 10 different editions with 10 different summer themes of these word searches. There's just so much that you can do. So there's so many different things that you can do with these activity books and word searches. Okay, so when it comes to these summer activity books, you don't have to necessarily target this directly as a summer activity book. So what you can see that I'm doing here is I'm thinking, what activities are we doing in the summer? And obviously camping, very popular, and it's going to be extremely popular this summer in particular. And we can position our activity book specifically toward people that have gone camping. So this could be, as we can see here, camping activity books for kids, activity book for toddlers, activity book for families. So this is something that when people go out camping, that they can do this activity book together. So what you put inside your activity books is going to be up to you. I don't want to get too specific with it, but as you can already see on the screen what other people are doing, you can just read these. You can find these out very quickly yourself, okay? And again, with all these niche ideas here, you need to go onto Amazon, go to Helium 10 and places like that, do your niche research as per usual, see if you can fit into the market, see if you can produce something original, and of course, see if you can get it out there for this summer. If you can, if the quality is good enough. If not, don't worry, take your time, because there will always be next summer and the summer after that as well, all right? So there's medium content books there. There's so many different possibilities that we can go with there. Now what we can look at last is higher content books. And I'm going to try and do this in every niche video, is to look at possibilities for low content, medium content, and higher content books. So it's the higher content books turn now. And I want to try and do my niche research slightly differently when it comes to my higher content books, because these are much harder to find in my opinion. So for example, the previous niches, I said, hey, you can just type in something that people do during the summer and Amazon will return a load of results for your medium content books and your low content books. However, I've struggled when it comes to finding good niches in the higher content category. So for example, when it comes to a higher content niche here, let's say that we want to go for something like gardening. What exactly are we typing in when we're looking for a higher content book? It's kind of hard to figure out what you should be searching for and where you should start to find these books. So if I type in gardening book, for example, the problem that you're going to run into, and that most people run into here when they sort of search for higher content books, is that you'll only be coming across books that have publishers behind them. So for example, this one has a publisher behind it, this one has a publisher behind it, this one has a publisher behind it. All these books have publishers behind them. So the search results, so the rankings here are going to be much lower, and it doesn't necessarily reflect on what we can do as independent publishers. So what I do to counter this is I think of the niche that I'm going for. So of course we have summer in mind already, and then we're looking for activities that people would like to do during the summer, and we've decided here, for example, on gardening. So what we can do is type in gardening and then just type in independently published afterwards, independently published. Okay, so what this is going to do is going to show up all the books that are independently published that have a gardening theme to them. So let me show you what I mean. Let's search them here. Now what we can see when we're searching is that all these books will be independently published. Okay, so independently published. I'm actually bringing up Kindle results here. So if you find a book that returns as a Kindle result, you can just go into it and then click the paperback version of it here, and then scroll down to see if it's independently published, which it is. And I can pretty much guarantee that all these books on the first page are going to be independently published as well. So this way, what we're doing is we're weeding out, pun intended, the books that have publishing backings behind them. And then what we can do is get our specific niche from these pages here. So what I can see on the first page already is that I'm getting niche ideas for higher content books that are summer related, that are gardening related as well. So raised bed gardening, for example here, veggie gardening, for example here, hydroponic and greenhouse gardening, for example here. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm finding books that are independently published. So if there are people that can independently publish a raised bed gardening book, then there's no reason to say that we can't do that as well. So when it comes to books that have a publishing backing behind them, you'll find that they're backing the writer because that writer has got specific knowledge, like incredibly good knowledge on what they're talking about. So we probably won't be able to have a book made in that niche if that is the case. So this is why we're doing things this way, and this is a great way that I've not really seen many people talking about to find these higher content niches. Okay, so this is ones that we looked at for summer. We can look at gardening. Again, just think of things that people do in the summer. So I'm just going to type in something like greenhouse, for example. And then again, you can do the same thing that you did before. Go through these books, check that they're independently published, which they should be, see what their rankings are, and then continue with your niche research from there. So this video is not about how to do your niche research. It's just about finding these summer niches, okay? Okay, that's it for this video. I hope that's given you some ideas for summer niches. I hope this has been specific enough for you to get some ideas, and not too specific that you feel that the market is going to become saturated all of a sudden, which it won't. But feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. There'll be plenty more on the way soon.